So this is our tie bag. It's a very versatile bag, great for any type of kick you want to do or any type of punch combination. All right, so let's start with the jab here. Ryan is in a right-handed stance. His power hand is his right hand, so his jab is going to be his left hand, his forward hand. So go ahead and do a slow jab for me, Ryan, not full speed. As he throws the jab, you can see that he turns his fist slightly down, so that thumb is facing just slightly down. Arm is almost fully extended. He's got a slight bend in the elbow when he connects with the bag. He's rotated his hips just slightly. His center of gravity has shifted a tiny bit forward as he throws this punch, but it's still pretty close to the middle. Okay, as Ryan throws this punch and he connects, right when he connects, he's gonna start to pull that hand back to be able to throw another punch and utilize that rotational velocity to create more power. Okay, let's talk about the cross. So Ryan is in a right-handed stance again. His cross is going to be his power hand. In this case, it's his right hand. Okay, you notice his hands are in guard here. As Ryan starts to throw this punch, he's gonna rotate his hips. The power is created in the hips. Okay, his rear foot is pivoting just slightly. He's keeping his center of gravity right in the middle here. He doesn't want to go too far forward, too far back. Wants to keep it centered so he can use that rotational velocity when he comes back to be able to throw another punch if he needs to. Okay, but notice again, even with this right hand, when Ryan throws his hand forward, he's got a slight bend in the elbow when he connects with the bag. It's not fully extended. It's like the sweet spot on a bat. You want to have that connection timed just perfectly and extended perfectly, impacting the bag, allowing you to be able to, like I said, create that velocity for another punch as you bring the hand back. So go ahead, Ryan, show him a few jabs. I mean, a few crosses. There we go. Big, big, powerful punch. This is your power punch. All right, let's talk about the hook. Ryan is in a right-handed stance, so he's gonna throw his hook most of the time with his left hand here, okay? That's what we're gonna teach you today. So as you throw the hook, you wanna really make sure that your thumb is pointed up, your fist, your elbow, everything is gonna remain at this height, chin, face height here, shoulder height, as you rotate through the punch, okay? So go ahead in slow motion, Ryan. Take them through the preloaded position of turning your torso just a little bit, shifting your body weight over to this front foot. As you come out of it, you're rotating your hips, you're pivoting your feet, you're creating the power in your hips and your core. And when you connect with this hand, you can see a bigger bend in the elbow here than the jab or the cross. You've got a big bend in the elbow as you hook your arm around, okay? And you're connecting with all of your knuckles when you impact the bag, okay? Also, when you're turning your torso, you wanna make sure that when you impact, your shoulder isn't way forward past this bag. You want to keep it back a little bit and have the impact of the hook happen right in front of your body, in front of your center of gravity. Okay, let's show them the full rotation, full power, Ryan. Go ahead and give them a few hooks. All right, so let's talk about a front kick next. Now, specifically, there's a couple of different kicks that you can throw, front kick, all right? We can use the front leg, or we can use the rear leg for a front kick. If we use the front leg, it's more of a push kick. You're pushing the person away from you with the kick, okay? But with the rear leg, it's a very powerful impact, usually delivered typically somewhere to the torso, okay? So what you wanna do is to start a little bit further out. You're outside of someone's reach in this case, right? Because you're gonna deliver a strike with your leg, you need to be a little bit further away from your target. All right, so Ryan's gonna go ahead and throw a rear foot front kick. So he pushes off the rear foot, drives the knee up high, extends the foot out in front, and he's pushing with the ball of his foot here, not his heel, right? Okay, so that power is a combination of the entire body creating power to the foot to impact to the bag here, okay? Another thing you wanna do is make sure that as you're throwing that rear foot, that you're also throwing hand forward to help counterbalance just slightly as you lean your torso back, all right? So go ahead and show them full speed what a front kick from the rear leg looks like. Okay, let's talk about the front kick, but this time we're gonna talk about the front kick utilizing the front leg instead of the rear leg, okay? So this kick is also called a push kick, and you really utilize this kick in order to push somebody away from you and create distance between you and an opponent, okay, or someone else who you happen to be sparring with, right? So in this case, Ryan's gonna go ahead and elevate his knee up and lean his torso slightly back and extend his left arm forward as he extends his left foot forward to help counterbalance, all right? Now he's going slow motion, right now, typically he would be elevated onto his toe of his down foot, right? Kind of hard to do when you're stable like that. So why don't you show him what a full speed front kick with the front foot looks like, Ryan? All right, let's talk about the roundhouse next, okay? This is a very dynamic kick that requires you to create rotational velocity throughout your entire body. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your forward foot here, not the foot that you're kicking with, Ryan's going to be kicking with his right foot in this case because his left foot is forward. Ryan's going to step his left foot off to the angle. So he's not stepping at the bag, he's going to step off to the side at about a 45-degree angle. You can see that when he steps, he keeps his heel high. That's good because he's going to want to pivot on the ball of his foot as he throws the kick through his right leg, okay? He's going to step to the angle, he's going to extend his left hand out in front of his body, okay? Kind of almost, you could be faking a jab or even throwing a jab. Good to throw your opponent off like that. Okay, but he steps, he throws his arm out, and then right as he's about to throw the kick, he's gonna bring this arm back, okay, right back to his head, and this hand is gonna get thrown kind of right back behind him, okay, so from here to there to help create the rotational velocity throughout his body. So go ahead and step to the angle, Ryan, and show them what a full speed roundhouse kick looks like. Just one here. I want to demonstrate what your hips look like, okay, go ahead. So you can see that when he kicks, his hips are completely facing the direction that he's kicking. He's not allowing his hips to stay low. He elevates and gets his hips all the way around. So go ahead and show them a few full speed roundhouse kicks, Ryan. Okay, let's talk about a knee strike next. There's a few different types of knees that you can throw here. First, we're gonna show you a wide knee strike, okay? So it's a side knee, it comes from the outside in. First thing first, Ryan's gonna take his hands up to the top of the bag here, kind of simulating as if he had somebody in a clinch position, okay? Can't quite wrap your fingers, but your hands are gonna be up high here to help you preload this powerful knee strike, okay? But first things first, we gotta make sure that we create the rotation in the hips, so Ryan's gonna drive this knee up, rotate out and into the bag as he impacts, okay? Trying to aim for somewhere in the torso right here, okay? Right about torso height. Go ahead and show them the full rotation, Ryan, of full speed, full power. There we go. Okay, let's talk about a side kick next. So Ryan's gonna start a little bit further away from the bag. Again, when you're throwing a kick, you have a little bit more distance between you and your target. So the side kick, Ryan is going to actually rotate his hips a little bit. He's going to shuffle his feet in. He's gonna take this little step in and try to find that perfect distance away from the bag to where when he impacts, when his foot hits the bag, he's got a very slight bend in his knee. We don't want it locked out entirely. We want to impact with just that very slight bend, okay? You can impact with the entirety of the bottom of your foot, not just the ball of your foot or your heel. The whole foot can strike the bag here, okay? And you have an option to aim it pretty much as high or as low as you want, as high as somebody's head or as low as somebody's hips or torso, right? Somebody's leg if you wanted to. So go ahead and show them what the side kick looks like, Ryan. As he throws the kick, you're gonna notice that he leans his torso away and he extends the arm forward of the leg that's kicking. So in this case, he's gonna kick with the left leg and he's also going to throw his left arm forward to help create that counterbalance of the power and velocity created through the strike. All right, go ahead and show them what full speed looks like. Okay, let's talk about an elbow strike next. A few different elbows to teach you here. This one happens to be straightforward, okay? So what we want to do in this case, when you're throwing an elbow, it's a very close strike. So Ryan, you can see has closed the distance here, and you can see he's inside someone's distance, right? Standing very close right here, okay? So he could be in a clinch position with his hands wrapped behind somebody's head. So to throw the strike, what you want to do is bring your hand that you're not throwing the elbow with around the back of the bag, like you're grabbing around the back of somebody's head, right? Okay, now what Ryan's going to do is create rotational velocity in his body. His elbow is going to be high here as he throws this punch. Elbow and hand are as high as the shoulder. They're going to remain at that height throughout the movement here. Okay, and as Ryan throws the elbow, he's trying to create the power with his body and his hips. So he's pivoting his feet, he's pivoting his hip. They're all rotating in the transverse plane here. And as he impacts the bag, he's going to exhale and twist into the bag, and then he'll pull his arm right back out and bring his hand back to guard. Okay, so go ahead and Ryan, show them what the front elbow looks like. All right, let's talk about the uppercut on the tie bag here. So with this uppercut, it's one that's delivered a little bit higher up. On the barrel bag, I showed you the uppercut that would be delivered typically more to the torso. However, on this bag, what we want to try to do is simulate an uppercut that would be to the head, okay? So in this case, Ryan is going to still drop down and keep his center of gravity on both feet as he rotates and turns his body slightly to create power straight up. Notice he's turning his hand. The knuckles here, the glove, is just going to graze the bag right here, and his hand's going to come up just slightly higher than eyeball level. He wants to try to create a lot of power on the way up, but then cut the power right as he gets his hand up above his eyes so he can bring his arm right back down to guard and be ready to throw another strike. Okay, so Ryan, why don't you go ahead and show them what an uppercut, full speed, full power looks like. Okay, let's talk about the back elbow now. So Ryan is actually going to be twisting his body into this movement in order to turn his body and swing around behind him to throw the elbow. Okay, so he's gonna end up throwing here his right elbow. So that means he's gonna have to step his left foot forward to this side of the bag. And that way when he rotates around, this elbow is gonna come up, and you can see fist, elbow, shoulder, they're all shoulder height. He's impacting with the back of his arm here, not the tip of his elbow, kind of right back on the tricep right there. He's used his body to pivot. He's pivoted his hips. He's using his core to create the rotational power, exhaling as he impacts, and then he's going to, as fast as he can, bring his arm back around, twist his body back around, step back and out away from the target and create that space again. So why don't we go ahead and walk them through, show them what the full speed back elbow looks like.
Gymaster, trọn gói dịch vụ, trọn tâm tư vấn.